Welcome to the Daily Gospel of John. Beautiful day. Glad you're watching. Going a little further in this awesome story of the healing of the man born blind, and we'll look at verse 13 to 16 in John 9. They brought to the Pharisees the man who had been blind. Now the day on which Jesus had made the mud and opened the man's eyes was a Sabbath. Therefore the Pharisees asked him how he had received his sight. He put mud on my eyes, the man replied, and I washed, and now I see. Some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, for he does not keep the Sabbath." But others asked, "How can a sinner do such miraculous signs?" So they were divided. The plot thickens. So Jesus chose a Sabbath on which to heal this man. It seems he did that often. And you have to wonder, was he maybe trying to pick a fight again with the Pharisees? See, the only sin that the Pharisees could accuse Jesus of, the only thing they could find to charge him with, was that he was breaking the Sabbath. Now, the Sabbath was commanded by God as a day of rest for our benefit, that we would take rest and seek spiritual closeness with Him and with our loved ones, and to just relax, give our work a break. So it's a good thing. And that was God's heart, to do good for us. And yet, these people had departed from the heart of God and from the true relationship with Him. These spiritual leaders had boiled down their religion to a little box of commandments. And well, actually the box kept getting bigger and bigger of all the commands they would use to keep people under their thumb. So to show how absurd it had become in that day, if a man were to spit on the Sabbath, it was okay as long as the spit landed on a rock. But if they spit into the dirt, then that would make mud. That was considered to be making mud, and so that was a transgression of the Sabbath. And the authorities would be, ready to condemn that person for working. And they had taken a lot of the laws that God had set forth to that kind of absurd extreme. And Jesus was exposing their game. And we see in Isaiah 29, where God says this, in the prophecy of Isaiah, the Lord says, "These people come near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Their worship of me is made up only of rules taught by men." So there's so much going on in this story. The illustration of making mud, the Creator recreating in a sense of the eyes of this blind man. But he made the mud on the Sabbath, knowing the rules and the traditions of that day, purposely sent this man into the pool of Siloam, which is right in the heart of Jerusalem, in the backyard of the Pharisees, drew a crowd, and now the Pharisees are trying to get to the bottom of all this, like a little inquisition of their little mafia group. Sad that that's what so much of religion became then, and still often does today, a bunch of rules to keep people down, instead of a relationship with the God who is the God who loves. I love the fact, though, that even among the Pharisees, some were starting to see, wait a minute, sinners can't do mighty miracles like this from God. There must be something to this Jesus. And now the Pharisees are divided even within themselves. Well, thanks for watching. We'll dive in a little further tomorrow. God bless you.